Imagine two students both facing the exact same syllabus, sitting for the identical examinations and having the very same 24 hours available to them each day. Yet only one of them emerges as the ultimate topper. The other finds themselves completely burnt out, lost in a fog of confusion, trapped in a relentless cycle of late-night cramming sessions and overwhelming stress. So what was the deciding factor that created this vast difference in their outcomes? It was not a matter of innate talent. It was not about having a higher IQ. It was not even about putting in more grueling hours of effort. The real difference came down to a set of ancient secrets, methods that were refined and perfected over many centuries within Japan and China. These are techniques so incredibly effective that they continue to be used in the present day to cultivate elite, high-performing students within some of the most intensely competitive educational environments on the planet. And in this presentation, I am going to share with you 7 of the fastest and most powerful learning secrets they have relied on for generations. These are secrets that your own school will most certainly never teach you. However, once you begin to apply them, your academic grades, your self-confidence, and your overall speed of learning will be permanently transformed for the better. And as for secret number 7, well, let's simply say it is so remarkably effective that certain schools in China have officially prohibited its use. Yes, it is genuinely that powerful. So, before we delve into the details, please comment your present grade level below. It does not matter if you are currently at a C, a B, or even if you are failing. We are going to elevate your game. Let's document your academic transformation together. The first secret is the Pomodoro ritual, but upgraded to a whole new level. All right, let us begin with something you probably believe you are familiar with. But Japanese students actually perform it in a completely different way. You have likely heard of the standard Pomodoro technique, correct? It involves 25 minutes of intense focus, followed by a 5-minute break. However, in Japan, they have enhanced this method with something ancient and astonishingly effective. It is not merely about setting a timer. Before they even start, the top Japanese students will pause for a moment. They close their eyes, take a single deep breath, and establish a focus statement, which is one single and crystal clear intention for what they will definitively accomplish during the next 25 minutes. It is not a vague goal like study math, but rather something precise, such as I will master trigonometric identities for problem solving, or I will rewrite and memorize the complete structure of the human digestive system. This Zen-inspired style of focus activates something very powerful within your brain. It acts as a filter against distractions. It sharpens your attention to a fine point, and it mentally commits you to the act of finishing, not just to the act of starting. You are not just doing a Pomodoro session. You are transforming it into a meaningful ritual, one that converts each study period into a state of deep, focused flow. So, here is what you can do immediately. Before you even start your next Pomodoro timer, write down your focus statement. Say the words out loud. Make it highly specific and make it personally yours. This one small adjustment can switch your brain into a high performance mode. Pause this video right now. Write your personal focus statement in the comments below. Let us construct a wall of student intentions together. You will be amazed at how powerful it feels to declare your intention aloud. Have you done it? Excellent, because that was merely the starting point. The next secret, this is how Chinese students manage to memorize insane quantities of information faster than you ever believed was possible. It has absolutely nothing to do with reading and everything to do with the way your brain naturally perceives the world. Secret 2 is the recall method, inspired by the Chinese character memory hack. So here is a question to consider. If your brain is so good at remembering faces, locations, and images with ease, why do we persist in trying to feed it words and complex formulas using nothing but simple repetition? Chinese and Japanese students train their brains in a different manner. They grow up learning kanji, which are thousands of intricate characters where each one carries its own meaning, its own unique shape, and its own tiny story. Every single stroke activates their visual memory. Every repetition helps to create a strong mental map. One specific technique they frequently use is known as grid recall. Picture a blank grid. You write the very same character into every single box over and over again until the muscle memory burns it permanently into your mind. But here is the crucial twist. They do not just memorize the strokes blindly. They create powerful visual anchors, like turning the character that means tree into a simple drawing of an actual tree. Now just imagine applying this method to a subject like biology. Instead of just memorizing the definition mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, you could draw a tiny factory inside a cell diagram with little sparks flying out of its engines. For a history class, you could turn a significant battle date into a mini comic strip panel. For complex math formulas, try drawing shapes that have the letters and numbers embedded within them, using arrows to illustrate the logical flow. The final result, Chinese students can successfully memorize thousands of characters and factual details without ever needing to cram the way we typically do. So, here is what you should try out tonight. Take your most boring and difficult topic and deliberately turn it into a series of images. Even if your drawing skills are terrible, your brain will recall the information 10 times better because your brain is wired not to forget images. So, ask yourself, why are you only relying on words? Secret 3 is the 5x writing rule, commonly used by Japanese topper schools. In Japan, the highest achieving students do not waste time rereading their notes. Instead, they rewrite them not just one time, not just 2 times, but a full 5 times. And each time, they write it in a slightly different way. Let us say the question is, what is photosynthesis? They will write it out once as the basic textbook definition, then a second time as a reworded version in their own phrasing, a third time as a simple diagram or flowchart, a fourth time as a story or a creative metaphor, and a fifth and final time in their own simplified words, as if they are explaining it to a friend. Every single time they rewrite the concept, they are engaging a different part of their brain. This process builds a robust neural network around the topic, so the knowledge sticks deeply. By the time they finish, they have not just memorized the information, they have truly mastered it. Meanwhile, many Western students just reread the same notes 10 times over, hoping that something will eventually click. But in Japan, they build true mastery through physical and mental motion. This is active recall taken to the next level. Try this method tonight. Pick one single tough concept you are struggling with. Write it out in 5 completely different ways. Add your own personal flair, your own story, your own logic to it. Secret 4 is the empty cup mindset, which comes directly from Zen Buddhism, and it is all about letting go of your ego while you study. There is a well-known Zen saying that goes, you cannot pour fresh tea into a cup that is already full. The exact same principle applies to your mind. Top Japanese students are taught that they should not study to prove how smart they already are. They study to discover what they do not know yet. They approach the entire learning process with a sense of humility and genuine curiosity rather than with pressure and ego. But in many Western cultures, we tend to tie our very identity to our grades. We develop a fear of failure. We obsess over being perfect and getting everything right. And that perfectionism, it is exactly what leads directly to procrastination, total burnout, and even emotional breakdowns. So here is your important reminder. Your value as a person is not contained within your test score. It is found in your continuous growth. Every single time you sit down to study, make a conscious effort to empty your cup. Say to yourself clearly, I do not need to know everything right now. I am here to learn something new. Let's make this idea real. Which one are you right at this moment? Are you an empty cup, ready to learn, or a cup full of ego? Please drop your honest answer in the comments. Be completely truthful. There is no shame here, just pure growth, because when you finally let go of your ego, you create the necessary space for true mastery to enter. Secret 5 is chain learning, a Chinese strategy originating from elite boarding schools. In these elite boarding schools across China, students do not study their subjects in isolated silos. They study as if everything is interconnected, because in the actual real world, it genuinely is. Here is what this looks like in practice. They will learn a physics formula, for example, acceleration. Then they will use their math skills to understand the underlying rate of change. Then they will connect that very same idea to reaction speed in a chemistry experiment, or even analyze it in a biology context through nerve response times. Suddenly, 3 separate school subjects have merged into one cohesive mental network. Imagine this structure like a spider web. Physics connects directly to math. Math then connects to chemistry. Chemistry then connects to biology, and boom, you are not just memorizing isolated facts anymore. You are starting to think like a real scientist. This method is called chain learning, and it is ridiculously effective because every single topic you learn reinforces the next one. It makes your memory much stickier, and your overall understanding profoundly deeper. Secret 6 is to study like a sensei, which means teaching to learn in the samurai style. In ancient Japan, every samurai learned their craft by teaching it to their juniors. Because true mastery is not demonstrated in silence. It is shown when you can explain any complex concept with absolute clarity. In modern Japanese and Chinese classrooms, this powerful tradition continues. The top students are often assigned as sensei, tasked with helping the students who are just behind them. Why is this so effective? Because when you have to teach something to someone else, you truly learn it and understand it yourself on a much deeper level. Try this method right now. Pick the hardest topic you currently know. Now try to explain it in just 10 seconds as if you are a teacher speaking to a 10-year-old child. That mental challenge will rapidly rewire your own understanding. This is called the Feynman technique, named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. He famously said, "If you cannot explain it simply, you do not understand it well enough." And he was absolutely correct. This next secret is actually banned in some schools, and it might just be the most powerful one of them all. Secret 7 is the forbidden night school hack. The secret Chinese night study habit. There is a definite reason why the top students in China seem utterly unstoppable. And it is not because of a high IQ. It is because of this secret habit used every single night in elite schools. Some people refer to it as the topper's temple. Others simply call it night study. From 7:500 p.m. to 900 p.m., it involves no phones, absolutely no distractions, no noise, just a hall of complete silence filled with students who are reviewing, revising, and reciting together each and every night. This consistent practice builds immense discipline. It builds a strong rhythm for learning. And most importantly, it creates a sacred, dedicated space for focused repetition. These students are not inherently smarter. They just show up with consistency every single night. This one habit has created more academic toppers than any high IQ ever could, because it is not about raw talent. It is about the power of ritual. And when a ritual is repeated daily, it eventually becomes your new reality. Try it out for just 3 nights, then come back and tell me how it felt in the comments below. Listen, the truth is you do not need to be a born genius to excel. You just need to have the right techniques and the willingness to try them out. You already possess that willingness, and now you also have the essential tools. Share this video with someone you know who needs their own study glow up. You have just unlocked the secrets that Asian toppers have been using daily for generations. Now it is your turn to take action. Start with small steps. Stay consistent with your efforts. Become truly unstoppable in your academic journey.